So Season 2 of Diablo 2 Resurrected is right around the corner here, and that is crazy exciting. Now there's a lot of new changes that just dropped with the new terror zones that now you can play, but we really get to test them out racing to 99 here for Season 2, not to mention those thunder charms now that can drop from the champions and bosses and all that from these terror zones that you can break all the immunities. So with the ladder reset coming up right here, I'm coming to you today with the top mistakes made for a ladder reset. Number one up here on this list, the biggest mistakes for ladder reset, and that is not properly planning out your build. Now this can come down to how your character is going to end up, and even when and where you're going to use your skill points and your stat points along your playthrough. They're not always the same. A lot of times people, maybe you'll come around with the assassin and you'll go ahead and pull up with the fire traps early on because they wreck. You're going to plan to use a respec and then respec into lightning. That is a very common way to play the assassin, and that's because lightning traps with the dense sentry later, super powerful, but a lot of times people don't necessarily want to play the fire traps, even though they can be fun, while maybe not quite as strong as the lightning though. Now, it's all up to you how you want to play it, but there's definitely good recommendations that make the playthrough the easiest and the end game the easiest as well. Also, not just the skill points, the stat points as well, because if you're necessarily planning to use certain respecs, maybe early on you do want to put some points to energy to help you out on the playthrough, but then later on maybe you want to go max vitality. Now that could be different, and you can plan that out accordingly based upon, I have videos about it, or there are some websites that I am not in any way affiliated with, but they're just pretty good ones. PureDiablo.com I like a lot. Maxroll.gg, I know a lot of people use that one, and that is not the total extent of it. There are definitely other websites out there. Feel free to hit up the comments down below with your favorite websites for planning out your build or looking up information for Diablo 2 Resurrected. So there's another reason why you definitely want to plan out your build, because you can make mistakes, and nowadays you can run over to Akara over here and you can go ahead and reset your stat points. Now you can only do that 3 times, so if you do use them along on your playthrough like I generally do, you need to make sure you don't make any mistakes. Mistake number 2 is that people play alone all the time. Now I know it's not always the easiest to meet up with people. There are a lot of different ways, but there's a couple of different reasons why playing alone can be an issue. And to kind of show an example of this, let's just go ahead out here and hit Eldritch. Now there's quite a group out here, and I'll slap them with my Nova, and you see them go down, and they dropped quite a bit of stuff here, but not every monster dropped everything. That's because the no drop rates with only you in the game are pretty darn low, to be perfectly honest. Now here we are in a pretty much full game here, and I'll show you the difference. If you're playing with other people, even if you're going off into different areas, you can actually get way more items from the monsters that you are taking out. Now it might be a little bit slower depending on your character. This guy unfortunately lightning enchanted, but you will definitely get more items because the no drop rate will be better. This pack was literally half the size of the other pack I took out in the other game, and there's the same amount of items that drop, and every time an item drops, it has a chance of rolling as something good. You know, you hear about this talked about a lot, RNG. So that is the first thing about playing with other people. You're just going to end up finding better items with more people in the game. Now the next one's a little bit harder to show with these particular characters that I have, but if you play with more people in the game, you're out there magic finding, hitting the terror zones and stuff like that, you will also get much more experience. Now, experience can cause you to level up. Right now, in this particular character where I'm at, not too much of a concern for me. You will get that more experience if you're doing that race to 99, if you're a little bit lower level and you do want more experience because you need to get those levels a little bit higher. Playing by yourself at a certain point, just players 1 difficulty, the experience you get is not going to mean a whole lot to you. So there's just a bunch of good reasons why playing not alone but with other people online is a very good idea. So third up is people having incorrect expectations. Now, not everybody has 40 hours a week to play Diablo 2 Resurrected. It's more than understandable. I completely get it. There's nothing wrong with that either. But if you don't play a ton, you're not going to get the best possible things in the game that you can only get by playing an astronomically large amount of time. Now, for most people, a good amount of expectations will say, let's say you got a sorceress, you could probably get yourself a Shaco and Oculus, Viper, Magi, things like that, stuff to make your character really good. But maybe you won't be able to get yourself a Call to Arms. Maybe you're not going to be able to get yourself an Infinity. Maybe Arachnid's Mesh is a little too hard to track down and things like that. Now, just keep in mind the amount of time that the people play. You'll see these fully decked out Hammerdins, fully decked out Lightning Sorcerers just absolutely wrecking everything. Some people do play 15, 20, 30, 40 hours a week. And if that's just not in the cards for you, if that's not what you enjoy, perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Just make sure you keep your expectations in line with what's actually possible for you and your character and the amount of time you have in your life to play the game. There's a ton of fun you can have in this game with just playing a few hours a week. So make sure you mainly target and go after those different types of ways to play and things like that, and you'll really enjoy Diablo 2 Resurrected a lot more. So we'll take a quick break. Thank a sponsor of this video, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning platform where it has thousands and thousands of videos, whether you're looking to up-level your skills to help out your business or your career, or learning something new just for fun. Now, of course, I love YouTube, but sometimes it's nice to do a complete course straight through without any interruptions. Skillshare is a completely ad-free service. Each week it has thousands of new videos and courses, so there's always something new to learn. And now the entire catalog is available in subtitles in Spanish, Portuguese, and German, and even more. I had a great time watching and learning from Marquise Brownlee YouTube Success Course. And another course I've looked into is Real Productivity by Michael Carnage de Prodcorn. Be More Productive can help you with your career, help you get to the gym more often, help you have more time to spend with your kids and with your family. So this one's going to be mega helpful for my life. The first 1,000 people that use the link down in the description will get 1 month free trial to Skillshare. So right here, I'm going to show you my single player sorceress, her stash, and show you her items. Just super quick, just a couple of them, and point out something here, and you'll see real quick the mistake you're making online if you're not doing this, because it's something you can't do on single player. I really want to do a Nova sorceress, really slap up the damage here on single player, so I'm going to have to throw on my Griffins. Doesn't look like anywhere in the stash I have one. No, I don't have a Griffins. That's because on single player, you literally have to find it. And on single player, there are some advantages to magic finding, where you can change the player's difficulty count. You have the static map, so you can farm a little bit more efficiently and things like that. But one thing that you can never ever do on single player, and that is trade. So that's number 4 up here on this list, and that is make sure that you are trading. That is one of the biggest, and it is an absolutely huge advantage to online, and that's being able to trade for items. Now, I have all kinds of other stuff that I could be trading. I found Gulls here just recently, found Vex Rune, stuff like that. I got an down here, all kinds of really good stuff, but no matter what I do on single player, I can never get a Griffins till I find it. Don't play online like that. Make sure you take advantage of being able to trade. I know sometimes it can be a little difficult if you make trade games. Nobody's really looking for trade games online, and that's kind of because there's so many great websites out there to trade from. Tradery is an incredibly popular one. I don't know all of them exactly, but you can trade in people's Discord, link to mine down in the description. If you ever want to find solutions to any of these problems, like people to meet up with and play, people to trade with, you can find that in anyone's Discord, but I'll just say mine, you definitely can, link in the description. But even if you're one of the people that uses D2JSP to trade on, dun dun dun, if you don't want to use any of those websites or people's Discord and stuff like that, you can go the old school route and just make a trade game and hope people join in. Generally, what I would do is make a trade game, then go around and magic find a whole bunch in that game just while you're waiting for people, whether you're running keys, hitting Eldritch Shank real quick, just hoping to get lucky, or hitting those new terror zones while you're waiting for someone to come in and complete the trade. And tip number 5 here, don't do what they tell you to do just because they're telling you to do it. I know they got these new terror zones out. If you don't want to run terror zones and try to get to 99 even faster, just don't do it. You don't necessarily even have to play ladder reset. You can keep playing on non-ladder if you want to. You can play single player. You can just go into PvP and not try to get to 99 and get out there and farm. You can just always trade. So don't feel like you have to only go do these terror zones and you're like, wow, this is kind of boring. It's just the cold plains, but the color's a little bit different. What's the big deal here? You don't have to go do the things that they're telling you to do. Pick what you like, pick how much you want to play, pick your build, do everything that you want, and don't be forced into a lane that you really don't want to be in. Oh, thanks for watching all the way to the end. You must have liked the video, so hit that like button, subscribe up if you haven't already. Make sure you double check, because like 70% of the people that watch my videos actually aren't subscribed. And if you want to see more of my videos, which you must if you watch all the way to the end, check this one out right up over here. Peace out, fellas, and don't forget, keep the laying.